This video is brought to you by Ionna and OpenVPP. Ionna, the EV charging network brought to you by the world's leading automakers. Ionna is raising the bar on what it means to charge. We're talking a 400 kilowatt charge rate minimum, nationwide network built with the customer in mind. Fast, reliable, affordable, every single time. And OpenVPP, a global virtual power plant for electric vehicles. See vehicles charging across the world and zoom in to see real-time charging status in what aims to be the world's largest vehicle virtual power plant. OpenVPP allows you to track charging history, energy usage, and daily trips, comparing your usage versus others day to day and month to month. With OpenVPP, we're working together to showcase the potential of EV charging to electric grid operators. There may even be future coordinated EV charging rewards coming soon. So sign up today at world.openvpp.energy. It's completely free to join and takes under 60 seconds. Hey guys, before we get into the video, big disclaimer. You may notice that this video is a few days late compared to when everyone else posted their Macan Electric GTS videos, and there is a reason. When we recorded the audio for this show, it sounded terrible. Absolutely mic issue, not sure what happened. Somehow we salvaged it. It's actually totally listenable. This is what it sounded like originally.
I mean, the speeds just go pretty big on the dash.
And you'll see when you watch the video, it actually sounds fairly listenable. It's better than you would expect considering that level of distortion. But you will hear some weird oddity stuff from time to time. We had to have AI run through the whole video. So big shout out to our editor, Timon, to fix all the audio issues and get it watchable for you guys. The Macan GTS rocks. If you don't want to deal with the audio, the big takeaway here is the GTS trim fixed the Macan. Not to say it was a bad car or it had an issue. I recommended my mom get one and she drives one and loves it. But it's just so much more hardcore, so much more locked down and way less wobbly and unstable. And, you know, the Macan was always a bit drifty. The GTS just dials it all in. So that sums up the whole rest of the video. But Scott's with me. We're going on a full tour, talking model year 26 updates and, of course, driving the Macan GTS trim. So let's go have some fun in this out of spec reviews video.
Hello and welcome to another out of spec reviews video. Porsche has sprinkled a light refresh. Maybe that's even going too far. Just a light model year change on the Macan Electric for model year 26. And guess what? We're driving it in this video. Specifically, we're driving a brand new trim. Now, there's two big things happening. The first is the light model year 26 updates. And the second thing is the introduction of the GTS trim for the Macan Electric. Now, this video did not go to plan because guess who was supposed to be filming this video? Hey, Scott. I was supposed to be still at King of the Hammers in the desert.
Yep.
And you got sick.
I got very sick as I was leaving Raleigh on the plane. And I said, I need you to come here right now.
Yeah. And I was already in California, of course, but I cut that short and jumped in. And I spent the day driving this Macan Electric GTS.
Yes.
Or is it Macan GTS Electric?
I think it's Macan GTS Electric.
You would be correct. And the reason Scott is still here, she's feeling a little bit better towards the end of the day.
And guys, I practiced so much. I studied up. This was my first real solo first drive, and I wanted to do such a good job.
And but you know what, Scott? I think between your knowledge and my driving impressions, we'll still get a pretty good video in for the viewer.
I think so.
So join me and Scott as we drive and talk about the model year 26 Porsche Macan Electric changes.
Woohoo!
So, Scott, I think before we get into anything related to the GTS changes, differences, all that stuff, we should talk about what Porsche has done for 2026. Now, it's nothing major, but there's some really nice and welcome updates for model year 26. The first and most important, this is now the key for the car.
Are you saying phone as a key?
Yeah, it's like welcome to Tesla 2014. But I don't know. What was 2015 Tesla came out with this? Something like that? So I don't remember. But like, okay, we all know Porsche has never pushed the bounds with technology.
Right.
When it comes to like user accessibility features, like no dog mode, all that stuff. Still 2026, no dog mode.
Yeah, I asked her about that.
And what'd they say?
Get a convertible.
That was a Calvin move. But yeah, see this is just like, okay, some of the things they get, some of the things they don't get.
Yeah.
Porsche just does best driving dynamics.
Yes.
Some of the best. and amazing quality, amazing customization. And, but now they're kind of catching up in the tech space where it comes with the Apple built-in like wallet ultra wideband thing.
Mhm.
So you can text 8 people plus yourself. So 9 total keys.
Yep.
Or is it 7?
It's
with
7 total keys.
no, 8 total keys, 7 you can share.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Is it backwards compatible?
In terms of?
Like, I have a 25 Macan.
Oh, no. Like my mom's Macan? For the viewers at home, my mom, I convinced her to buy one of these, at least one of these.
Yes.
And she has a Macan 2024 Electric.
Mhm.
It's the first model year. She really likes her car. They've made a bunch of videos on the Out of Spec Dave channel. We're actually going to steal her car soon and run it through a bunch of stuff. So that'll be kind of fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah. After coming here and driving this, I'm like, you know what? I got to take my mom's car a little bit more. It's kind of cool. So yeah, no backwards compatibility. And it
Okay.
has to do because there's a different PCM, which is like the whole communication system in the car,
Mhm.
has been updated to support this.
Yes.
My argument against that is we know phone as a key had to have been a thing years ago before this car was ever in development.
Right, but when this car was in development, phone as a key was a thing.
It's a thing. So like, why was that not a thing when the car launched?
I don't know.
That's the most annoying stuff. So I can't wait for the Rivian stuff to just get into Volkswagen Group.
Yes.
Because like clearly once they have, for those who don't know, there's a Rivian and Volkswagen joint venture where they're developing an electrical architecture and software package for all Volkswagen Group vehicles starting in 27 and then going through the rest of the line. That includes Porsche products that will have Rivian hardware inside. And that's just going to solve the problems that need to be solved.
Yes. I
Because the
think
cars are great.
I think that change will be felt across.
Yeah.
many
So that's the
places, so.
big first model year 26 update. You can use phone as a key. If your phone dies, it still will work through some NFC, something.
There are also still keys.
Yeah, and you get the Porsche key, but the key's the problem. Do you have
Yeah.
the key? Do I have the key?
The key is in the cup
Keys in the
holder,
car?
or keys where the cell phone goes.
Okay, I see. Scott, I will never miss an opportunity. Excuse the viewers for the view.
Oh, I know. I know exactly what you're about to talk about.
Do you? What am I
Yes.
going to say?
Well, the fact that this is the front button and not the unlock button.
Yeah, so when you reach into your pocket, like every other Porsche key goes unlock, lock, front trunk, rear trunk, because 911s have front trunks.
Yes.
In this one, when you just reach into your pocket and you go unlock, that happens.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
So annoying. And it's not auto close.
Yeah, so now we have to walk all the way over here.
Yeah, your Macan's just in the middle of a parking lot. You're like, oh, dang, I just wanted to unlock it.
But at least you can find it if you were lost.
You definitely can find it. Front trunk remains unchanged, by the way. I absolutely love that they have their Porsche Mobile One oil partner right here on an electric car. Although they probably do use Mobile One fluid in their gearboxes and stuff. It's a nice front trunk. This is for like your level 2 charging cable.
In Europa.
In Europe, yeah, you have to bring your cable with you. Nothing super fancy here, but yeah, I'll never miss an opportunity to complain about the Macan key. I did it in my first drive review, and you know what? I love the Macan. I really do, but there's just some annoying things that need to be changed, and this should have been one of them for model year 26.
Yeah, that feels like a simple change.
Yeah, and everyone knows about it, because I talked to the Porsche guys too. They're like, yeah, we know, it's a PPE thing, and I'm like, come on.
You gotta do it.
Annoying. All right, what else has changed for model year 27?
The parking assist.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Big new parking functions
Yes.
coming to the Macan. Now, most people think parking assist where you like hold the button down and then it backs you into a spot slower than grandma could ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
This actually has some cool parking assistant features. And I say this because this car doesn't.
Yeah, so this is an early demo car. Is that what I understood in the presentation?
Another annoying problem. We're here to demo all the new 2026 features.
Yep.
The car doesn't have phone as a key. The car does not have the parking features. The car does not have head-up display or passenger display to show the gaming functions that have come.
Yeah,
Like, why'd we come here if the car doesn't have all this stuff?
because this is the international first drive, and we are in sunny California.
Yeah, it is nice.
People in
but, like,
Germany are cold.
that's true. The German branch of this program, they're all, it's mostly a GTS program, but I was mostly interested in model year 26 stuff. The GTS stuff we'll get to. They really freaking did a nice job on that stuff. The parking assistant function. So get this, Scott.
Okay.
You have a Macan. You like park in this parking space, right? So you come in through the parking lot, you wiggle your way around, and you just nose it in perfectly.
By the skin on your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Millimeter perfect. BMWs have this feature
Mhm.
too. I can then throw it in reverse, hit a button, and the car will just trace back exactly what I just did to get into this parking space.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool, especially if you have like a tricky, the house that I grew up in had a tricky driveway and there was a big old bumper killer. So that would have been nice. I think it does it up to like 160 feet.
Yeah, 160 feet, always just stored in memory backwards.
Yes.
But for the bumper killer house, there's another feature that could help you.
Oh, okay.
Which is you can train the car initially. So let's say you have a crazy driveway, right? You pull in one time, make the 7-point turn to get in your garage. A bit like Tom Malogny's driveway comes to mind with the Yarbo snowblower thing.
So crazy, yes.
Yeah, and so he had to program his snowblower, how to do the driveway.
Yes.
Thomas turned into your local resident snowblower enthusiast.
You should really watch this video.
Great channel, State of Charge on YouTube. He's the best.
Okay, but he has a crazy driveway.
Crazy driveway. You got to like wiggle 50. Every time we go there, I've got to like make a 50-point turn. You can take the car and say, okay, when I get to this point, you can say, all right, I'm going to train you to do that and get in the garage. When you get within a certain area, certain distance from that point, you can then just say, run the training program, right?
Yes.
Run the thing, and it'll just automatically do that.
Yes.
So pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wonder what happens if stuff gets in its way. I have no idea. We'll have to play around with it.
Correct.
When we get a test car at the track. And we'll make it really hard.
Yeah, we need to make it like super duper hard. Of course, there's like a helicopter.
Yeah, we got the police going up overhead. Okay, and the last thing for the parking features that's notable is the Macan now has 360-degree view cam with live view underneath.
Yes.
Which, I don't know why that's very helpful. But one of the benefits of that feature is it will actually give you wheel curbing assist.
Well, I think that live view underneath will play on to their wireless charging eventually.
Yeah, I mean, that's more for Cayenne.
Yeah.
This doesn't get it.
Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe
Maybe they didn't think far enough ahead with the phone key, so now they're thinking far ahead with the...
Yeah, so, I mean, I really think this is kind of the last opportunity for an exciting Macan story because the Cayenne's coming, and it's so freaking awesome.
I know. I'm really, really excited about Cayenne.
This car is going to seem so lame, and it already kind of does when the Cayenne's out. This 270 kilowatt charging, that's 400 kilowatt charging.
I know.
And the list goes on and on and on. But you know what? They're doing one last little push on this thing.
Yes.
What else is new for model year 26? You can game in the passenger seat.
Yep. Inno Drive. Now called
Driver Assistance.
Driver Assist.
Drive Assist, yeah.
Yep.
So Inno Drive wording is gone. They put it under the Drive Assist. And it will do lane changes now. While Tesla's driving themselves. Like that Model Y Standard over there, that little, ugly real Model Y Standard, that thing, ugly duckling, that could drive itself from here to the track in North Carolina. With a push of a button. You don't have to do a thing. We know that because our buddy literally did that.
Yep. Shout out David.
Yeah. And then this one, it makes lane changes.
Yeah. So does my Rivian.
Your Rivian does more than this.
Yeah, I know.
So again, it's a Porsche. It's meant to be driven and you just want lane centering on the highway. Funny to make that comparison because I saw that Model Y over there. But at the end of the day, most people, including me, really just want amazing highway lane centering with the option to make automatic lane changes.
Yes. And so we have that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Let's run around the backside.
Yeah. So last big change for this year.
Yeah. What is it?
The towing capacity's been updated.
Yeah, great. We'll get to that right now, actually. I don't think this one is equipped with the tow package.
What do you mean? They don't let us demo and tow our Macan? Dang, it looks so good here.
You like the back of the Macan?
I told you that I hate that I like it, but I do. I think it needs maybe like a little spoiler.
Little lip spoiler.
A little something there. Yeah. And then like I am going on camera and saying, I really like these.
Let me actually set it up where I think it starts to look reasonably okay from the back because I think this is just bleh, and I've always said that. It just kind of
looks like bald.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. So I'll tell you where I think it looks good. You got to pop the sunroof. Oh wait, I shut the car off. So sunroof open, and I'm going to pop. Normally, I hate electric spoilers in their up position.
Oh, the sunroof looks really funny from this angle.
Yeah, but it makes it a little bit more squared off from the back. You know what I mean? It gives it just now come on back over here from where I am in this 3/4 view. Now it actually looks okay. There's something at least interesting going on back there.
No, that looks stupid. But this looks good.
Okay.
Okay, so towing's been updated. You can now tow 5,500 pounds. What did they change?
That's a lot of towing for something like this.
Yeah. What did they change?
Nothing. They didn't change anything.
Yeah.
It's just they recertified it to tow from 4,000 pounds to 5,500. Or was it 4,400 to 5,500?
It was 4,400.
It's 1,100 pounds more.
Yes.
Yeah. So, for example, They had to recertify the car, and the labels all say that. They are not saying you can now go tow 5,500 pounds with your model year 24 or 25 Macan.
They're not saying that.
They're not saying that, but they're also saying they didn't change anything. They just recertified it.
So let's use our brains, people.
So I'm throwing 6,000 pounds on the back of my mom's car, watching it pop a wheelie. Yeah.
Throw Julio back there.
Yeah. Yeah. Put the horses on the back. Honestly, we should tow the horse trailer with her car and do a tow test. Yeah. So that could be kind of interesting. That's wild. So the actual towing metric is called J2807.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how the car could have performed so differently.
I don't know. I need to read up on that because I tow so much. I'm very curious about how that is allowed.
There's also a very unusual model year 26 change, which I like. They told us, but I think it must be true. But the U.S. cars always got LG battery packs in these.
Nope, they always got Samsung batteries.
They always got Samsung batteries in these. You are absolutely correct, Scott. That is a great moment for you.
And the European specs had CATL batteries.
Yes, and now
they're all going to be Samsung.
Everyone's using.
So if you watch a European video and they're talking about the battery changes, well, they're just coming and being Samsung.
Yeah, they're all matching the US spec cars now.
Yes.
I don't know why that change happened. I never noticed a performance difference between the CATL and the Samsung cars.
They were comparable from what I understood.
Yeah, I think Porsche spec'd the same chemistry and just had two different makers make that prismatic cell in these. Mm-hmm. But that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Is that everything? We discussed the games. You can pair your phone.
That was not important to us. The odometer. But is that a GTS thing or
no? It's model 26. It's like a software bug. Yeah, we noticed this while driving around. I thought it was pretty funny. Most Porsches show 2,345 miles or whatever it would be.
Where is this key?
Hold on.
This
dang key problems. See, if they just had phone key enabled, which also gives us problems, they put a decimal like they do in Europe.
Yes.
So it's 2.196 miles, which means it makes it look like 2.196 miles instead of 2,196 miles. Yeah. Is that a dumb thing to complain about?
Oh, I don't think we're complaining. We're just noting that that's a difference. That's a change.
That's a change.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of silly, but
I think what I'm mostly disappointed in, just to round out before we get into the GTS stuff, Scott, I'm pretty disappointed in Porsche in a lot of these updates not being backwards compatible.
I could agree. And once I learned that this car was quote, introduced brand new in 24.
Yeah.
It's 2 years later.
Yeah.
We all knew that those things were coming.
Yeah, that's on the roadmap.
And
the car was already delayed multiple years.
Yeah,
before launch.
I can agree with that. Usually I think sometimes you're hard, but I think that's a good criticism.
It's just, you know what? Electric cars have become, whether it's for better or for worse, they have become technical extensions of our lives.
Right. So I'm expecting wicked software.
Yeah. And this just, my mom is a perfect target Macan owner, for example. She came from combustion Macan. Then she went to a Tesla Model Y. She wanted that same size, but electric. Then Porsche came out with that same size, but a Macan electric. And so she got an electric Macan. And she loves her car. She says it drives amazing. No complaints there. The two things she really wants, FSD. It's gotten so good. Yeah. And second, a bigger screen that's more intuitive to use. There's quite a bit of sub-menus in there.
I agree it's not super intuitive. It's not user-friendly.
Yeah, and I like it because I'm a nerd.
I also like it because I felt like when I was looking at it, prior to this, I went to the Porsche dealership in Cary. Played around with one just to get comfortable. It has everything that I would want. But it is a little hard to get to.
Yeah, it's just a little cumbersome, and my mom's not amazing with new tech, so
yeah,
I think that's interesting. I think a younger buyer, no problem with this though. You and I, we don't have any issue with.
Yeah, but their average buyer is 58.
53, I think, for Macan Electric.
For Macan Electric. Yeah. So I mean, that's
yeah. Anyway, okay, so the last thing that's new for model year 26 is a voice assistant that we are not able to try because it doesn't work in this car.
Well, let's get into the GTS specific things.
So, guess what, Scott?
What?
This is the new Porsche Macan Electric GTS.
Wow, new trim. So they did not offer this before.
Yes, well, they've offered GTSs and everything, and it always comes a bit after launch. Okay. The Porsche launch strategy these days has been launch with the base model and the top model, and then fill in the middle.
So the rear wheel drive and the turbo in this instance?
Yeah, technically it was Macan 4 and turbo. Then they did rear drive, 4S, and then now they're doing GTS.
And turbo, okay.
And it is so good. Like, not even just slightly good. It is incredible.
Wow.
The changes that have made this car unbelievably different character than the 4S.
Oh, okay. I'm excited.
Yeah. So let me show you around some stuff. Come around up front. Design wise, okay, totally subjective. You get a different lip up here. You get, stuff. There's very typical GTS flair. So you get some darker accents. You can go in the configurator and spec this car a million ways, but it starts at 103,000-ish in the US, and this one's 125,900.
Yeah.
And you can make a Macan go up to $200,000 for a fully spec turbo.
You absolutely should not do that.
Don't do that. That would be dumb. So then you get these sick wheels. Actually, maybe this side where the sun is would be better.
Where the sun is better. So these.
Tell us about these, Scott. You know about these.
Well, I know that these are the 22s.
They look great.
Oh, I almost fell.
Amazing camera work. Yeah, these are the wheels to get. These are like the Macan GTS Sport wheel. Don't know. It's optioned on a Pirelli Corsa tire right now, which is partially why this is the car I drove all day today, and it's just like incredible because it's on an 80 treadwear tire. It's a cheater tire.
Okay.
Which basically means like you throw these on, makes the car just like have unlimited levels of grip when they're warmed up.
Ooh,
and I ripped it up and down Angeles Crest earlier, and it was just a great experience. Really fun. So in the rear, 295s up front, 255s, big stagger, and that is because the Macan typically is a super tail-happy, very drifty, almost un-Porsche-like, unstable character.
Yes.
They're a bit nervous, a bit twitchy. And just to give you the initial impression before we go into anything, I just shot a clip earlier today where I drove this up the hill to Newcomb's Ranch. Any car enthusiast in California knows Newcomb's, up top of Angeles Crest. You got to get up there at some point. It's amazing. Best driving roads ever. And I jumped in a 4S that was also with us.
Okay.
And I just took it up and down the road, and I was like, whoa, this is the biggest piece of crap. And I got nervous. It's so, and that's always been the Macan thing. It's never felt very stable, very Porsche and great. It is an amazing car still, of course. But I'm just saying the comparison difference is steering is super twitchy. The whole car is a little bit wobbly. So I went same settings. Watch what I thought back to back. Guys, I'm up here at Newcomb's Ranch, which is off Angeles Crest, one of my favorite driving roads. And I just had a chance to hop out of a Macan GTS and jump into a 2025 4S. And let me tell you that this car solves everything with the Macan, literally everything. Here's the GTS that we just rolled up in. Beautiful looking car with all the GTS accents. I think they do help, especially in motion. And but this car was twitchy and nervous, and just, we've always said the Macan's been really fun. It's been kind of like a rally car, very drifty, but lacked the Porsche character. It didn't have that grown-up stability. Didn't have the, I don't know. Macan just was like, it's fine, but the difference between jumping out of this car and into the GTS is night and day. All the steering, especially. The steering is so much better. The suspension, so much better. The twitchiness completely gone away. You can actually throw this car into a corner and rely on it to get through the corner without doing anything wild or weird, where that's more of a hooligan. I like a hooligan character, but I also like a stable, high-speed vehicle that you can rely on if you're 110 miles an hour into a corner, for example. That is so impressive. The difference is major. Wow. So, just before even explaining any of the changes between the cars, you can see that the back-to-back comparison, yes, I know I'm on a different tire, but not even talking about at-limit handling, just overall character of the car, night and day. The GTS has settled everything down, and it's made this car so much more mature, so much more grown up, and so much more of an almost Cayenne electric character, which I've spent some time with, where the Macan, even when you talk to the Porsche test drivers, everyone's like, and here they're like, oh, okay, yeah, this one's finally dialed.
Would you call it the sweet spot?
No, this is just the one to have. I wouldn't even consider a turbo.
Okay.
I would only get this. Now, I would want the power of the turbo with this suspension.
Okay.
Because my impression, we'll get into the impressions.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's changed.
All right.
Official communication from Porsche at this moment. I don't believe them.
Okay, I don't know what you're
Can you
about to
guess
say.
mechanically what's changed?
Oh, no?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, that's why I thought that was a trick question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nothing from the turbo.
It's just calibration from the turbo to this.
Yes.
So it's a detuned turbo.
Right.
What are the actual power specs on this thing? 509?
563 horsepower
launch control.
with launch control.
Which one?
509 without.
Why don't you explain that, Scott?
No, I'm going to let you explain.
So with Porsche, there's this stupid philosophy where you have to enter launch control in order to get full power.
Mm-hmm.
So when they sell you a car and it says it has 563 horsepower, that is only in the unique scenario at when you're sitting at a stoplight, you 2-foot it, launch mode active comes up, and you pop off the brake.
Mm-hmm.
Full power.
Which means that regularly it's just that 509 horsepower, which is the same as the 4S
In launch
mode.
And then the
So
563 is even less than the turbo without launch mode.
Yeah, so why do they do that?
Yeah, they do that because they're dumb. I'm not editing that out. They do that because they think that's what customers want. I don't know why would they ever do that? I don't know.
When you tell me what max is, then I want that to be the max all the time.
Well, it's just, let me demonstrate something to you. If you're driving a vehicle, for example, please zoom in on the pedal box down here. And I don't want to sound like I'm really ripping on them, but I am. When you see this thing, it's the accelerator pedal.
Oh, okay.
You see that?
I am familiar with
I'm pushing it down. When I hit that point, where you hear it hit the floor.
Yep.
That just means one thing, which is
go fast.
Give me everything you got. Let's go. Full power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't mean, wait, hold on. Let me stop. I need to deploy full power. So I'm going to stop, put it in drive, then 2-foot launch it, and then pop off the brake. Which I won't do, obviously.
Thank you. Good job.
That is just ridiculous. Okay, so then the excuse that Porsche has always told me about this, Scott, is they do it because they want to preserve the longevity of their driveline componentry. Inverters, half shafts, other stuff, right? Where it's a limited use case. You can deploy the power only a few times.
Sounds made up.
Here's why it's completely made up. This car uses the identical drivetrain to the turbo.
Right.
Okay? The turbo makes less power. The turbo makes more power in its normal, just floor it mode, without launch control than this does in launch control.
Why?
Which means you should be able to run the launch control power all the time without overstressing the components.
Yes.
Because they already do that in the turbo.
Right.
So then you just go, now they're just doing it to spite their owners.
I don't know. I think they're being silly. Whoever's in charge of the tuning department's being.
Why is there a different power output for launch control? I hate that. Now, I understand that you need to rate certain power levels for a certain duration, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a 10-second boost at which you have to rate power for. That's okay. You can tell me the 10-second maximum power and then the nominal power rating after 2 minutes and then after 30 minutes. There's a bunch of different ratings that a car can go through. But the fact that they're gatekeeping the actual maximum output power behind a mode that you have to get the car in from zero annoys the hell out of me.
That's silly.
But with that said, in launch mode, Scott, I did a couple launches in this.
Yeah.
Oh, it rips.
Zippy zappy?
It launches hard.
Okay.
It's just like, it feels like a first gear clutch dump. Boom, you're off.
Sick.
And then it goes. So the 4S also launches hard. I did a back-to-back launch.
Okay.
The 4S will get off the line and then it kind of peters out. And especially the 4, the top end performance, like on my mom's Macan, it really doesn't have much get up and go, but it's more than acceptable for a cruiser.
Okay.
This feels in launch mode like the perfect amount of power for the car.
Okay.
Without launch mode, I know I'm jaded and I know that I'm about to tell you that a 500 horsepower small SUV doesn't feel that fast.
Does it not feel that fast?
It doesn't feel that fast. It feels like Model Y performance.
Okay.
Which is like, okay, but it's a $125,000 car.
Yeah.
With a Porsche badge.
So.
Just dial it up. Come on. Let's go crazy.
For that much money, I need the brooms.
And I think that's also the other thing. Porsche also has to sell combustion cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're used to this balance of power and suspension and handling and making a cohesive package, which I commend them for. But many, like Chinese automakers, will just put 1 million horsepower in their car and no brakes and no steering and no handling, but it still has the acceleration.
Yeah.
So then when you get into a Porsche, you're like, oh man, it's got to have that acceleration and then all the other stuff. But they just pull way back on the acceleration compared to their competition.
Yeah.
It's totally acceptable. I mean, the speeds just go pretty big on the dash. I was seeing allegedly triple digits many of the time today, and it was more than enough to have fun and enjoying myself. And that's not the big story here. You can buy the turbo if you want to have a drag racer. The turbo is fast. No way around it. The big story here, Scott, is the GTS calibrations.
Yes.
This car is a night and day difference to the 4S, like I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And it has nothing to do with the power. The power is perfectly matched to the braking ability, to the thermal capacity of the driveline systems. There's a new pre-chilling function. We'll get into that in a minute. When you get in this car, and I did, and you go on a mountain road, the stability and the way that you can just huck it into a corner is unbelievable. I mean, I would kept going into a couple corners. I'm like, oh, there's more. There's more. And I'm like, let's just fucking send it into some corners, allegedly. And it's like, whoa, you could not do any of that with the normal Macan.
Well, that's why you were feeling a little car sick.
Yes. The G-forces are crazy. Now, a lot of that has to do with this Pirelli Corsa tire that we're on, which is literally an 80 treadwear tire. So it would be nice to drive like a normal GTS one day and see what that's all about. But when you spec it on this wheel and tire, this is the optional summer performance tire. Whoa. And the chassis can handle it just fine. It's unbelievable. But the biggest difference to me beyond this and the 4S is the steering.
Okay.
Porsche tells me there's no mechanical change in the steering linkage, in the steering box, in the bushings or anything.
What are you feeling?
A completely different car. Not even close. And it wasn't just me. I got it out of this car. I jumped in the 4S, just ran it up and down the road. I was like, this is the normal 4S was like, ooh, twitchy all over the place, super not put together. And this is just mature and stable. You put in one steering input like you would expect from a Porsche, a little bit less rubber bandy, and just felt really nice, weighted up wonderfully. Wow. And the normal car was like, I had to keep making corrections to everything because it's a little bit wobbly. I guess is the best way to describe it. Very nervous. It's a different car. There's no way there's no mechanical changes. I know EPAS, electric power assisted steering, can be tuned many different ways, but there's no way
that nothing's been done.
There's no like steering knuckle difference or bushing differences or anything up front. I mean,
something has to be different.
There's no way it's not. So anyway, I asked my buddy Calvin, who's our friend at Porsche here, I'm like, can you just ask the engineers for me really quick? And so he put in a request to see if, what the difference is.
Okay.
So I'm really hoping there's something, because if not, then that would be the most amazing, magical steering change in the world from an EPAS team. Other than that really sums up the GTS, I would say. We haven't really even talked much about the inside of the car yet.
No, we haven't.
There is a new change for model year 26, is an eye tracking sensor, which feels very un-Porsche to me.
Yeah.
And it's sort of regulation driven in many markets. Currently, it doesn't do anything in this car, so we aren't sure how it's going to work. This is it's not a prototype, but it's an early car.
Yep.
Without the latest and greatest software. So it feels a little bit premature to be doing the first drive on it, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I feel like they should have waited till everything worked and then showed us.
Yeah.
But this will track you and then annoy you if you don't pay attention.
Yeah, and we actually asked if we cover it, what would happen, and they said...
Yeah, they said in Europe, at least, their understanding is that it will always ding at you. It'll throw a warning that it's covered. We don't know how it'll be tuned for the US.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
I just don't like these. They're always just more annoying than helpful.
Yeah, I would agree.
If you have glasses on, half the time they don't work.
I don't wear glasses.
Yeah, it's just mine sometimes you can't see through. I'm going to jump in the passenger seat, Scott.
I love the race things. I know a lot of people.
So, of course, with the GTS, you get a ton of race techs.
That's what I was just talking about.
Yeah, I could see you mention something about that.
Yeah, so you get race techs here, you get race techs here, you get race techs here, you get race techs here.
It's all optionable. So you could choose leather. You can go on the configurator and choose any surface that you would like.
But you should definitely choose the race techs.
I'm okay with the race tech steering wheel. But I'm not a race tech's fan everywhere else. It's like a really nice Alcantara, if you will.
Yeah. There's a man.
Oh yeah.
He's
just checking the car out.
Now you're on YouTube, buddy.
Yeah, welcome. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the slightly updated software for model year 26. Actually, Scott, I think we need to rotate the car 180 degrees. So I'm going to have you do that because it's sunny over here.
Oh, okay.
So just basically same position, just flip us around if you don't mind.
Okay.
Nice. All right. So we've got Calvin's name up there. Shout out Calvin. So this is interesting. You can pre-climate your car, which basically keeps climate on. I would consider that post-climate.
I would also consider that post-climate because pre-climate would be before you get in the vehicle.
Yeah, I guess it's before you get in the vehicle next time.
Oh, okay.
And then you can leave the vehicle switched on for a limited time, which is what my parents do for dog mode.
Yes,
but
so
anyone,
that's a dog mode hack. But it's not, you can't monitor it. It's not going to tell you when it turns off.
And it keeps the lights on the outside.
Yeah, we don't love.
Yeah, just camp mode, keep climate, dog mode.
Yes.
Simple. This has remained unchanged. This is a $125,000 spec with no cooled seats. That's a Porsche thing, of course.
Yeah.
That's kind of lame.
I like that, but
You like optioning everything?
I don't love cooled seats because I feel like I wet my pants. That's how it feels to me. So for me, it's not
No go. Okay. And then of course you got all of your temperature adjustments with a haptic, really nice feeling switchgear. This is I think a real highlight.
Nice. And I love having easy access to climate controls right here. As somebody who's constantly like scrambling.
And then this, I think, is very poorly designed, this whole area.
Yeah.
Like, you want to put stuff there, right? But then it's also cup holders, and you
can't like slide them, which would be nice. And then this is where you put stuff.
Yeah, but if there's a cup there, you can't really get there unless you have that little porthole.
Yeah, that's just, not ideal, but again, maybe they think people who drive these cars don't drink.
Well, I put that in there because my mom specifically asked me to mention that in the review. She said, tell the Porsche people they need to redo all this.
All right, we'll let them know.
Yeah, that's how we're letting them know.
Okay, what else?
Well, the rest of it's just normal Macan. We've done so many reviews of storage, backseat space.
Aren't they introducing new stitching color?
Oh my gosh, you have gone down the Porsche path of deviated stitching colors. Gosh, you've fallen into the trap.
I haven't fallen into the trap.
The trap is, I will never drive my car on a racetrack, but I'll tell you all about my deviated stitching. That's like every Cars and Coffee with Porsche owners.
So they're offering this red, which I don't remember its official name. There's Lugano Blue, and I only remember that because I had a horse named Lugano. And then there's a slate gray as well.
Slate gray Neo.
Slate gray Neo, if you're feeling crazy.
Oh, I hate that we're talking about deviated stitching colors on this channel.
Tell me something you would like to talk about.
I'd like to talk about the drive mode selection and specifically the new pre-chilling function.
Okay.
So Taycan Turbo, Turbo S, and GT, Turbo GT, have a function where you can run the AC compressor flat out and chill the battery pack to sub-ambient temperatures.
Correct.
Which means you can then extend your thermal duration of track driving. Yes. And a GTS Macan, it is officially a track-capable vehicle. Porsche won't tell you that. It's got the big brakes. It's got the drivetrain. I'm telling you, this thing drives great.
Okay.
It really drives great. Now, we'll have to get it out on track for some real fun stuff. But, all right, so your drive modes, normal, off-road, normal, sport, sport plus. There's new electric sounds, by the way. Off, Sport, and Sport Plus.
They're terrible.
Sport Plus is really boomy and annoying. I think they are supposed to model like what a electric motor kind of sounds like.
I do like that they do at least like the electric motor sounds.
Yeah, it's like more of
opposed to like a V8.
Yeah, it's an authentic-y sound. It's fine. I think if you're going to do anything, go Sport. Sport Plus was just way too loud, I thought.
I just feel like I'm in a spaceship. It's like, whoa. I don't need all of that.
Yeah, electric cars should be pure. That's my impression. And then you'll get your, of course, suspension height. So you get low, lower, normal, and lift. You can also dump the rear out when you're loading stuff with the switches in the back. We've shown that in other tours before. Yes. This is more of just a quick update video. I just want to find out how we get to... This is all different in here, by the way. So some of this stuff is normal, but like when you get lane centering, it would show here. You get more functions on the ADAS control stock, and they took some out of here to simplify things. We won't really be able to show that. Charging target. Oh, this is cool. So you can go target 50 to 100%. Please avoid idle times with a high state of charge.
Nice.
And I love this. It'll tell you your max charging power at your current moment.
So this car peaks at 270, but right now, 261.
Yeah, it's because it can only take 400 amps, so it'll actually rise up to 270 as pack voltage grows during the charging process. Also, with this battery pack, never get to a DC charger below 7%. Because they charge real slow from 0 to 7, and then they ramp up.
And it's good from like 10 to 50?
Yeah, 10 to like 55, 60. It's pretty good. That's probably when I'd head to the next. We can talk about route planner stuff because that's actually also updated for 2026. But I'm just trying to find this.
Pre-chilling?
Yeah, and then comfort functions. So you get your communication light, which goes across here. Then you get normal stuff. Settings. Vehicle settings. Where do we get the pre-chill function?
So we could try something. It may not work. We could try that search function.
Why would you want to extend infotainment waking phase? If this function is active, this can affect the state of charge. What?
Oh.
What does it mean? It's like a double rainbow. Do you remember that meme?
I do remember that.
What does it mean? What can it mean?
What's your name?
Tony. Display settings? No, I feel like we're missing the pre-chilling somewhere. Maybe we got to be in Sport Plus. We're in Sport Plus. Recuperation's on.
No, I really think if we look up...
I think I remember in the Tycoon.
I remember.
Sport Chrono. Prepare vehicle. Yes, we found it. Track endurance mode.
So there we go.
You need to be at 70% state of charge in order to engage track endurance mode.
So we're at 26% state of charge, so that's going to be a no.
Not possible. But it's really...
That's where you find it.
You know what's perfect is like at the out-of-spec track, we're going to have DC charging trackside. We'll be able to run this thing on a DC charger, pre-chill it as it's charging, and then get right out on track, go rip, and then cool down during the next charging session.
Yep.
So it's just it's for the super nerds. It's for the like 3 out-of-spec viewers who are going to track the Macan GTS.
I want you all to come to the track this summer.
Yeah, and shout out those guys because this thing is built for it. And right here, track endurance mode. Don't ever tell me it's not track capable. And then you can synchronize with the Porsche Track Precision app, record lap times, all of these things. And it's just, you know what? This is some of the great tech that you get from Taycan trickling down to Macan. Love it. Yeah, and then you can do all of your, analysis in there. So we found that. What were we going to say? What else are we going to show? Oh, route planner.
Route plan.
Okay, so we all know that PPE platform cars have amazing route planning, Scott.
Yes.
So why don't you type in Fort Collins? Back to the office.
If you don't know, it can do this.
Oh, I did not know it could do that.
I told you.
Not that.
That's a tough one for you to do.
It's all flashing on the camera, too.
For Collins City Center.
Watch how fast this goes. Ready? Boom. Done.
Bow.
Isn't that crazy?
Bow. My only complaint, and I did this the other day. Oh, okay. So it does show. Never mind. I don't have a complaint.
Okay. But if you go into settings here, you can actually weight the type of charging stations you want to go to now.
Yes. So like if I only want to go to EA's because I hate myself, then I'll just maybe it is already set to just
maybe it's this. Oh yeah, charging planner and charging settings. Okay. I love that Porsche does this. Minimum charge at destination. Let's say you want to get to the cabin with 20%. Okay?
Yes.
But let's say you want to get to the charge stops to maximize charging.
I love this.
At 7 because that's the proper Macan arrival SoC. Boom!
So, like, if you're going to have crappy down low charging, at least add that feature.
This is so cool.
That's great.
And then you can go preferences for charging station providers. This is new. Okay? So you can say, give preferences to plug and charge. You have a NAX adapter. And then you can say, on each network, do you prefer it? Are you neutral, or do you want to avoid it?
Incredible Charge Point. Just kidding.
No, we love Charge Point. Circuit Electric. I don't know. Who are we going to...
These are so crazy.
We gotta rag on someone here. You know what? They're doing a better job, but I'm ragging on Francis Energy. Avoid.
I'm part of Francis
Energy. It's a good thing. They're getting better, though. They are getting better. Okay. But let's say you do that, and then you want to, do... I don't know, Porsche sales and marketplace? No, I don't want to go to a Porsche dealer to charge.
Yeah.
Avoid. And then you can be like, you know what? I really love the fact that, is Tesla here? There should be. They said it was. Maybe this one's not set up with Tesla yet. But they will have plug and charge with Tesla and all that stuff.
Yes.
But then, they have Prefer Electrify America. Yeah, okay. And then you can go to Ionna, which is coming in here soon too, and go,
it's like prefer.
They sponsored this video.
Woohoo! Shout out Ionna.
Shout out Ionna. Prefer, but not EBCS. Ionna. EBCS actually is like a bunch of 50 kilowatt chargers.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's just an amazing EV nerd tool because there's getting to be so much infrastructure. You really want the route planner to be tailored to your preferences. So
absolutely.
I think in this car, it's an 800 volt system architecture roughly. You really don't want to use superchargers for speed because you're limited to 135 kilowatts when the pack goes in a split pack. Whew. But like my mom, she doesn't care. She just wants to plug and charge a Tesla.
And because it's reliable and she knows it.
And she knows the stations. Yeah. And so she'll just do that and you're good to go. So that's a really nice upgrade right there.
I appreciate that feature.
Really cool. Okay, let's jump outside. I'm going to hand that back to you. I know you weren't planning on being on camera.
Yeah, guys. Hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you, Scott.
Unwell.
Wow, it's really nice with the lighting out here. Where are we? In Marina Del Rey.
We're in Marina Del Rey.
Beautiful. Wow.
Stunning.
I love nice weather and nice cars. It's cool.
It's so nice.
Another problem. It's 2026.
Hit me with it. What's the problem?
Where's next?
That's a good question.
It still uses old school, dilapidated CCS1.
Yeah. Embarrassing.
It's fine, really. It's not a big deal. You need an adapter either way right now.
And these are included. An adapter isn't included. Is included.
Yes, it is. And if you want to buy Porsche's adapter, it's actually only $175 on their website. It's actually one of the cheaper adapters.
I thought it was $135.
Oh, is it $135?
I think it's $135.
Wow. Anyway, it's like surprisingly cheap for the Porsche adapter. You also have a plug on this side. I think this is kind of a Macan problem. It's 100 kilowatt hours gross, 95 kilowatt hours usable, same battery pack as the other ones. Yep. But only a 40 amp 9.6 kilowatt onboard charger, not even 48 amps. And if you're charging on like business voltage, then it's really like 8-ish kilowatts because you're down to 208.
Yeah.
So I really wish they would put a 48 amp onboard charger or an 80 amp 19.2 unit.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really only needed for high mileage daily drivers who are like doing deep charges at home every day. But, Porsche's always been about fast traveling, which is to drive a lot and charge fast.
Quickly.
This can do it from a DC charging perspective, of course. However, from an AC charging perspective, it's just a bit weak considering the extended cost.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so that's kind of the problem. In terms of the overall theme on everything here, Scott, the Macan remains the same. It's an exciting, small, customizable, premium electric SUV.
Yes.
And I say small, like it's nice. I can fit in the backseat. I don't love sitting in the backseat. I've shown this on camera before.
It's just a little guy.
Yeah, but that's what people want. A lot of people don't want these big, chunky 3-row SUVs that we've been featuring on the channel.
Yes.
There's no other SUV that's like this small and this premium. It's like Mini Countryman SE is kind of cool and funky, right? But does not drive anywhere near this, and it's not sporty.
Model Y. But
Model Y is not
a premium experience.
No, this is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And so it's really kind of in the category of its own. You know what I mean? There's not much. If you want this level of luxury from other brands, you've got to go like Gravity 3-row.
Yeah, but those are bigger.
They're way bigger.
Yeah.
And so this is just a great sweet spot in terms of the marketplace. And it's why my mom drives one. And she loves that. It's very high quality. It is still a Porsche. It still gives you a Porsche feeling, but you don't have to lug around a giant vehicle everywhere.
Right.
Okay, so that's the Macan thing has stayed the same. It's been improved with better charging planner, which I hope is backwards compatible to earlier cars.
I think so.
Love that you can weight the preferences of the stations. I really love that phone as a key is now a thing. So that's a really big, amazing update from my side. And I love that, especially now you get the pre-chilling on the GTS.
Yes.
For my use case where I love to drive electric cars hard, that's an amazing one. Then you get the GTS changes, and that changes and fixes the whole Macan for me.
Okay.
The Macan has always been like, that's cool, but I'd rather have a Taycan.
Yeah.
You know, Taycan just is special. It feels like a Porsche. It is a cool car, and the story is amazing. This was an Audi platform, co-developed with Porsche. It's PPE, same as Audi Q6 e-tron, but then Porscheifies it with a completely different steering system and no one-pedal drive, where the Audi gets one-pedal drive, and this goes on and on. But the GTS settles the whole car down, and it feels and drives way more grown up, and it's way more hardcore.
Yeah.
But you know what? You don't sacrifice any comfort.
That was my big question, because I thought with it being sportier, it might be stiffer and uncomfy.
No, on the road, I can't really know. I actually think it's just as comfy, if not more settled down than the 4S or the 4.
Okay.
Or the other ones. Porsche tells me all the Macans use the same running gear. It's just different tuning on them.
Mm-hmm.
So hard to believe when this car drives like a completely different package.
Really?
Yeah, and just cruising on the highway, I put the suspension up to normal to let it work as much as possible in the air suspension, put the dampers all the way to soft, and it just had the most amazing hit a bump done. No body porpoise.
No porpoise.
Yeah,
Okay.
very little head toss compared to the early cars, or to the other cars, I should say, just because it is slightly stiffer, so it really does help reduce some of that rocking motion that you would get.
Okay.
And, yeah, it's the only Macan to buy, in my impression, from now on. The only one to consider. You know, I'd give up the turbo power and get the handling dynamics of this.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Big statement.
And I really hope it's not just the tires masking everything from me, but just the way it goes down the road, even when you're not at tire limits. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
So the GTS trim, I've never been a big Porsche GTS guy, because everyone says it's the sweet spot. It's the middle ground. I hate middle ground cars. I hate sweet spots.
Right.
I
you want all or nothing.
I want the fastest, craziest thing or the most efficient range thing.
Yeah.
This is genuinely the one to have.
Okay.
So that's a really big props to them for taking this upgrade to whatever they did to the GTS very seriously and getting it dialed. So that's all the pros of the Macan.
Give me the cons.
The cons are it's expensive for what you get. It's a Porsche, I know, but it's still expensive for what you get.
It's still outrageous for what you get.
A bit outrageous.
Or what you don't get, really.
Yeah. And it's lacking on the tech side. And the argument that it's a Porsche that's meant to be driven and it's people don't care only goes so far. The fact that there's no dog mode, there's no FSD-like competitor in the car. It's 2026. These are just basic necessities that many other cars offer, especially in China, and Porsche's just lagging behind.
Especially in this price range.
And especially when you get up to this price range, you would expect all of those things with the nice driving dynamics of the Porsche.
Yeah.
But there's no question you have to give up on some things when you go to this, and there's no better example than than my mom, who went from a Model Y, which she did not like the ride quality, hated the noise, all that stuff, loves the NVH, loves the ride quality, but the car frustrates her a bit from a technology perspective.
Yeah.
And that just shouldn't be the case.
No.
So we know Porsche knows that. We know they're working on it, and that'll get better, I think, in future iterations. But for now, like, for some of my friends who just want a hot hatch to rip around in that's electric,
this is it.
About as close as it gets. It's really fun. I just can't wait to get back in and drive it. So
okay, well, let's go drive it.
We're going to go do that. So thanks so much for watching our very quick and unexpected review. It was really supposed to just be Scott and you guys.
Thanks, team, for joining along.
Was there anything else you wanted to add, Scott? Did we cover all your notes?
We did cover all of my notes. Are you thinking of something in particular?
No,
we did.
No Matrix headlights on a $125,000 car. They'll tell you, by the way.
Well, they're Matrix style.
Matrix design.
Design, thank you.
So that's this that changes the design, right? But the headlights are actually down here. Those are the headlights.
Silly.
Yeah. So they don't do the actual.
It looks good though.
They don't do adaptive driving beam in our market.
Yeah. Yet.
I don't know.
No, maybe never.
I mean, at some point they'll have to come around and do it, right? But we have totally different logic and tuning and coding compared to the German market or the European market. And I think, oh my God, a B-Class electric, just like ours just went by.
Wait, I don't
Check
know if you can see
it out. There it is.
Blurry, but there it was.
Wow.
I've never seen one of those on the road.
That's so cool.
Same blue and everything.
Yeah, same exact spec. That's a great way to end this video.
Okay.
I just wanted to make one last point about this. A lot of the excuses that we've heard about why this car isn't catching up to the competitors, especially in our market, is, and I think a lot of the rationale is the culture inside of Porsche is very almost closed-minded. They develop their cars for their home turf in the sense that they can go real fast. They, obviously handle amazing because they do tuning on the Nürburgring, all that stuff. But they really, I think, need to open up and start looking at what's happening in China especially, but even a bit in the US and what our consumers want here, which is everything this car offers, but the technology
just
and
a little bit more
basic functions of I keep coming back to dogma. Like if a VinFast can do it, Porsche should be able to do it. And the list goes on. It's just a very clear cherry-picked example.
I just think you need to look at your markets.
And they sell cars globally. They should have engineers globally, and they should start to understand what everyone else wants everywhere else, if that makes sense.
I agree.
Okay. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks, Scott, for trying to do this video on your own, but I'm glad we did it together.
Yeah, I am too. And thanks, team. I'm sure everybody will be sweet in the comments. So.
I'm sorry there's not much driving impressions of me driving. I was with someone else in the car.
You were also getting sick.
I was getting sick. I had a migraine, and I was, to be honest, sending it way harder than I could ever show on YouTube on a public road.
Well, at least you had fun.
I had very fun. Very much fun, but I can't wait to get this over to the out-of-spec track, set a lap time, do our performance testing, and of course do all the range and charging and everything else. We've never run a Macan through our proper benchmark tests.
We have to.
We have to do it. So let's end it with this camera view right here so everyone can see that nice 3/4 angle with the wheel turn.
Ooh, that thing is nice.
It is interesting. And
it's interesting.
I don't know why, but I've never wanted a Macan before. Like I've never.
Wait, no, I want one. I want it in the purple color.
I think Cayenne's still the jam.
Yeah.
400 kilowatt charger.
TBD.
100 and something kilowatt hours. Can't remember. I want Cayenne.
Cayenne for Kyle.
Really, it would be a Taycan Sport Turismo GTS with the Turbo S drivetrain or Turbo GT drivetrain.
Yes.
But like always with Porsche, you can't always get everything exactly the way you want it.
Right. So Cayenne it is.
It's the perfect blend.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.